Um, okay, so this morning we are doing the descending pyramid. So we're going to start with 8 reps and then do 7 reps and then 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The goal is not to get down to 1 necessarily. I don't know that the timing will always work out to do that, but we're just going to be working for 3 minutes. So wherever you are at 3 minutes, we'll stop there. We'll take 1 minute rest, and then we'll move on to the next pair. So you'll alternate between the 2 exercises. So first, you're going to do 8 reverse lunges each side. Then you're going to do 8 mountain climbers each side. Right? And we'll just alternate between the 2 of those. And that'll be that. You guys want to see a puppy tussle in the background there. So we go for 3 minutes, alternating between 8 reverse lunges, 8 mountain climbers, 7 and 7, 6 and 6, 5 and 5. Okay, so that's how we'll go there. And then we work our way through the 2 exercises. So it's in the chat. Sorry, let me repost this in the chat because I heard that it doesn't always pop up for people if you joined after I put it on. Yeah, that's what we're working on. As long as you can remember 2 exercises, we should be okay. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to sit on a roller. And let's go ahead and put it right on your hips right away. So we're sitting on top of it. Out for yourself. Got a new version of push-ups that I'm excited to do today. And I've waited to do it until today because, well, Kelly's not going to be here, so I won't subject her to this. I'll subject all of you guys to it, though. I just know exactly how much she doesn't like push-ups, so. Cole will do it. All right, so sitting on top of the roller, let's go ahead and roll that space that's in between your hip bone and the crest of your hip. So it's kind of like right where you would put your hand in your pocket, maybe a little bit higher. But we're going to roll that whole space around from your side, across your low back, across your sacrum, and to the other side. So we're just working our way across the roller there.
We'll go.
And as you're rolling, let's roll all the way over and end up on the front of one of your thighs. So it doesn't really matter which side. Let's roll all the way over and end up on the front. Just rolling back and forth, up and down one thigh. Making sure you get all the way up to the crest of your hip. Or sorry, yeah, up until kind of that bony part on the front of your hip. If you need to split your leg into thirds so you're not walking, up and down with your arms all the time, we can do that. It's okay to roll one area and then move on to the next. And good, while you're on that same leg, let's just go ahead and roll to your side. And you're gonna roll the inside of that leg. Remember, as you get closer to your midline, the more you raise your knee, the better roll you're gonna get. So if your knee is, if your hip is down low as you're trying to roll, it's gonna be really hard to get any kind of pressure on the midline. The more you bring your knee up towards your chin, the better roll you'll get there. All right, let's switch to the other side. So you're gonna roll the front of your other thigh. Morning, Rhonda. Hey, Don. Hey, Kelly. And hi, Carol. Nice to see you guys this morning. Okay, let's roll the inside of that thigh. rest your head here. Remember keeping that knee up high. We're just looking to kind of get a roll on every part of your thigh here. And good. All right, let's go ahead and put the roller just under your shoulder blades. And rolling back and forth across your shoulder blades. Once you give it a few passes, go ahead and wrap your arms around yourself. Give yourself a big hug like you're trying to touch your fingertips behind you. Yeah, that should make things a little more intense right down the middle. Okay, so from there, let's go ahead and turn the roller. You're going to lay your spine right down the middle of the roller. Okay, so yeah, laying on your back, bend your knees, put your feet flat on the floor. Good. From here, you're just going to open up, try to let your hands go back towards the floor. Don't let your low back arch too far here. So we want maybe a little bit of space off the roller in your low back, but not a ton. And if you don't feel a stretch here, you can just move your arms, progressively move them higher until you feel like you're getting a stretch. You should be getting a nice stretch through your chest. Rotating across, you're going to start to stretch a little bit. Okay, good. So from here, we're going to do a floor slide. So you're going to think of your forearms parallel to the floor. So if I'm laying on my back, I bring my elbows down into the letter W and reach up into the letter Y. So as I come down, instead of having like elbows low and hands high, we're going to slide down. Think of those forearms being parallel to the floor. Stay on top of the roller. Move that way so you can rest your head. Okay, we're doing about 10 floor slides, or yeah, floor slides here. Be on top of the roller. Keep your hands and elbows the same height off the floor. Right now, you're like this. Your hands are too high. There you go. Okay. Good. Once you're done there, you're going to roll off the roller. Just roll off to one side. Bring your knees up even with your waistband. Just bend your hips. Way down. And we're going to put fingertips together and open up like a book. Okay, let's open up 8 times today. So you're going to exhale as you're opening up. Inhale as you come together. Every time you come together, your fingertips should touch each other. Okay, so we're not just looking at shoulder range of motion here. We're looking at everything opening up. Inhale as you close. Exhale as you open. Eight times each side. Once you're done with one side, go and roll over to the other. Switch it up. Not fast, but super slow. All right, again, just in case you're jumping on late, today we're going to go work for 3 minutes. Descending pyramid, so we go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you get there, just alternating between 2 exercises. So I'll call them out. We'll work for 3 minutes, rest for 1 minute. We're going to go, there's 3 sets of exercises or 3 pairs of exercises. We're going to go through those twice each. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, and then again through 1, 2, 3. All right, once you're done there, let's roll over, sit up. You're going to fold one hip in and one hip out. So we look like this. Kind of sitting here, just sort of trying to settle in towards the floor, try to get both cheeks to touch the floor. So I've got one foot behind me and the other foot across in front of me. Try to sit nice and tall. Good. From here, we're going to put your, lean your chest over your forward knee, the knee that's in front of you or the shin that's across in front of you. You're going to try to go to your elbows there, right over top of that knee. So the goal here would be to get nice even pressure on both elbows. If you need more of a stretch out of this, you can take your foot and move it forward away from your body. So that'll take your shin forward away from your body a little bit more. That's a good way to increase the stretch. But for right here, we're just going to try to relax into this stretch. Take a few deep breaths. Last part of this, we're going to come up and rotate away from your back leg. So we just push in here. You might get this as a quad stretch. You might get it as a stretch in your lower back, a hip flexor stretch. Okay. It kind of depends on how you're built and where you're tight, but you'll get a stretch through this. Make sure you continue breathing through your belly. And let's switch sides. So just switch your hips. So again, just settling in here, trying to get both cheeks to touch the floor. Some people, most people probably aren't going to. You can get there, that's good. All right, let's lean forward over your forward leg. Again, trying to get nice even pressure with your elbows. With this one, you can kind of focus on taking deep breaths, pushing your belly into your leg or into your thigh as you take those breaths. All right, last part of this. Let's go ahead and rotate out. So you're rotating away from your back leg. And good. Let's go to a push-up position. All right, from here, we're just going to alternate between a plank or a push-up position. And then we're going to push your tailbone up towards the ceiling, letting your head duck in between your arms, letting your heels drop for a hamstring stretch. So it's kind of like push-up position to downward facing dog if you're a yoga person. Otherwise, if you think of yourself as a tent, right, you're kind of making that upside down V like a tent. So let's do 10 of those, just rolling through. Hold for about a breath in each spot. Exhale as you push back, as you push your tailbone up towards the ceiling. Feeling that hamstring stretch. Let your heels drop down towards the floor. Get a nice stretch down all the way down your back. You're just kind of hinging at the hips and shoulders here. Really reaching up towards the sky with your tailbone. Taking the round out of your low back. All right, once you're done there, we'll go ahead and stand. Okay, we're gonna do a lateral lunge and a lateral lunge with a turn here. So we step out to the side, then we're gonna turn in. So as you turn in, you're gonna make the letter T with your feet. The foot that steps out is gonna be the foot that makes the top of the T, right? So let's do 8 each side. So we lunge out, make that letter T. Just starting to get the hips more mobile here. Should be nice and easy. Don't force anything, especially in the morning. Remember, we're doing 8 each side here. Okay, so reverse lunge. We're gonna do a reverse lunge. You're gonna keep that front leg planted on the floor. And when you come up, we'll do an SLDL. Reverse lunge, then hinging at the hips for an SLDL. Don't worry about the reach or anything here. So let's do 5 of each on each side. We step back, tip over, step back, tip over. Should start to feel warm all the way up your leg here, outside your hip, shin, feet, front of your leg. Once you get 5 on one side, go ahead and switch to the other. Ew. So we're really kind of dialing in your balance here this morning, getting everything fired up and working well. Okay. So once you've done 5 each side, we can go ahead and get going here. So again, we're starting with 8 reps and working our way down to 1. So you're going to alternate back and forth. For the first group, or the first pair, it's going to be a reverse lunge plus mountain climber. So you're going to do 8 reverse lunges. Let's alternate those. You know what? I'll leave it up to you. You can either alternate or stick with one side. You'll get them done faster if you're doing one side because you don't have to switch each time. You'll also feel a little bit more of a burn that way, okay? So however you prefer to do it, I'll leave that up to you. I think I'll probably do one side at a time with that, all right? So use whatever weight you need for that. Mountain climber, of course, just gonna be that push-up position. And then you're bringing your knee up underneath. All right, so it can be anywhere from this run to just a step, bringing your knee up underneath. Okay, so wherever you're at with that. All right? Okay, so grab your weight. Let's get ready for a reverse lunge. You can also do a body weight if needed. And I'll get the timer started here. So 3 minutes of work, working your way down from 8 all the way down to 1. Ready? And here we go. You can put that weight right down in front of your chest to do the mountain climber since you won't be bending your arms. The 8 mountain climbers will go pretty quick.
What was in the 8 side?
7. That's yeah, it's 8.
Yeah, the last one.
Next time you go through the 2, we're gonna go 7. Remember with the mountain climber, we're trying to keep your butt in one spot, not too much bouncing or pushing it up overhead. Okay, just under a minute to go here, 55 seconds. Might be working your way through the 6s or 5s here. Twenty seconds left. 10. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good. All right, next one, you'll need a band. Sorry, I should have told you that up front. Or you can use a weight for the row. So 2 different things here. Push up and touch plus a band row. So push up and touch, you're gonna put something, some object or something to reach for right in front of you or way out in front of you. You'll let your chest go to the floor. Keep your hands off the floor, touch, and come back up. Okay? So that's the push up and touch. Band row, I'm just gonna do it seated with the band around the bottom of my feet, sitting tall, rowing in like this. Once you're done there, you roll over, push up and touch. So your chest will be on the floor for the touch, and you're reaching way out in front of you. Try to keep your hands off the floor as you do it. So you push up, reach out, and touch. Okay, 3 minutes, ready, go. Starting with 8, working our way down to 1. So with that push up and touch, you'll notice kind of the back of your shoulders really starting to feel a lot of that. You can do a row. If you don't have a band, you'll do a dumbbell row or a kettlebell row. Coming up on halfway. And halfway there, 1.5 minutes left. So again, we're just trying to get the work you can get done in that time. I almost want to do double the amount of rows. These push-ups are tough. Remember, on the push-up, you're doing your best to keep your hands off the floor. 45 seconds left. About 30 seconds left here. There you go. 10 seconds. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, good job. All right, we're done rolling around on the floor for a little bit. Actually, we are going to roll on the floor a little bit. Side plank, alternating side plank. So just keep your feet about hip width apart. Start off on an elbow or on like in a plank position. Then all you do is roll to one side. You can also do this from like a push-up position, so extended. It's probably easier to transition. So we turn to this side, turn to this side. Your feet will stay right where they are. They won't stack up or anything like that. So just rolling to your side there. Second one, deadlift or kettlebell swing. Okay, if you're not a kettlebell swing person, don't swing, just do the deadlift. But we're just looking to keep that weight nice and tight. Okay, on the other way, a deadlift is going to be here. All right? So 2 movements we know. Ready, and go. 3 minutes of work. Pretty easy to rush these side planks. Let's make sure you get to that, all the way to that end position where your shoulders are stacked up on top of one another. Remember, we're counting each side here. Yeah, try not to squat so much with them. Not so much squatting, more hinging. Yep. Okay, a little less than a minute and a half here. So we're a little over halfway through. Forty seconds left. Put your big toe down. Good. Put your feet on the floor. There you go. Fifteen seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good. Okay. So we've made it through the 3 different groups, 3 different pairs. Now we're going to go back through one more time. So we go back up to the top, reverse lunge plus a mountain climber. Reverse lunge plus a mountain climber. Feel free to vary the weight as needed. Feel free to make it body weight if needed. Just working your way through. You're pretty much just, you're going to be going down in numbers, but you may only get to 5 on all of these. So it's basically just working for 3 minutes. Okay, so work steady, work your way through it. Make sure form is always first. 20 seconds left. David Carroll Ronda. 10 seconds left of rest. 3, 2, 1, off we go. All reverse lunge, remember your choice to alternate or do the same side. Reverse lunge and mountain climbers. One minute into this thing, 2 minutes left. Halfway there, minute 30 left. Remember on those mountain climbers, butt staying right in the same position. Try to bring your knee as far up under you as you can without rounding your back over. Keep that good posture, just like a plank. 1 minute left. Thirty seconds. Ten seconds left. Three, two, one, and relax. Good job. We're putting that part behind us. Moving on, alternating, or sorry, push up and touch, and the band row. Just rolling around on the ground here. Remember on that push up and touch, we're trying to reach forward, tap as far as you can. Think of it as like kind of an upside down floor slide. You know, we usually do this, right? So now you're just gonna be doing that push up, reaching out. Okay, it's the same kind of movement, using your shoulder blades and your shoulders to keep your hands off the floor. The other part of that is check in every now and again. Make sure you're not doing like a back arch or a seal arch to get your chest up off the floor. Okay, so really try to do it with your shoulders, keeping your hands up rather than arching back and showing your chest forward. Okay, 3 seconds, 2, 1, here we go. Push up and touch, seated row, or a dumbbell row, however you need to do it. As always with the push-up, you can always modify. Just keep your knees down. This one's hard to modify farther than that. Make sure with the row we're sitting nice and tall. Make your spine as long as you can make it. Getting the top of your head close to the ceiling. If you don't have a band, same rules still apply. You're going to be kind of chest facing the floor. Same rules still apply though. We want that nice long spine. Past the halfway point here. One minute left. Probably time for one more set of each. Twenty seconds left. 10. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Okay. Into our last bit of work here. Alternating side plank with the deadlift or swing. Alternating side plank with the deadlift or the swing. Remember, your choice. It's totally up to you for the deadlift or the swing. The deadlift is kind of same mechanics, but just a little bit slower version of it. Make sure that weight stays not in front of you, but pushing your hips back so that think of your pinky, your pinkies going right down the inseam of your pants. So almost let those pinky fingers rub right down the inseam of your pants or your shorts to whatever depth you can hold hips. If you get here and you start to have to round over with your back, at that point, we just stop and cut the movement short. All right. 2, 1, 3 minutes. Here we go. Last 3 minutes of the day. You got a head start. Nice job, buddy.
Well, this is the one that takes me the longest. And then I always wanted at least 6 of each.
Yeah.
So I went a little early because I barely got them done once.
One minute into this thing, 2 minutes left. A little past halfway, minute and 20 left. Oh, good. This practice has been good for you.
Can you hold it this way?
I was just thinking that you can.
because it stops me when I'm here. I have to go a little bit farther.
Let's try this. A little heavier, but.
I can try it next time.
Under a minute, 50 seconds left, 5-0. Remember, you're just gonna let those feet turn where they are. You won't have to stack them up. Try to get your shoulders to stack right up on top of each other. So there's a nice straight line from one through the other to the floor. Good. Keeping your tailbone back, chest out. Good, there you go. Nice. 1 minute left, just under a minute.
That was our last minute.
What? That was our last minute. Sorry, my fault, my fault. Thanks for speaking up. I got to turn the beeps on the timer. Okay, well, that's all. Hey,